Spider-Man has been swinging through our screens for decades, becoming one of the most iconic superheroes of all time. But while the movies and comics get a lot of love, it's the animated series that brought the friendly neighborhood hero into the homes of millions. From classic shows to quirky reboots, Spider-Man's animated journey has been a roller coaster, and not all of it has aged perfectly. With so many versions of Spidey over the years, it's time to take a look at the highs, the lows, and the downright bizarre moments from his animated past. Ready to dive in? Oh, and make sure to hit subscribe if you're all about Spider-Man and superhero content. First up, let's rewind to 1967, when Spider-Man swung his way onto TV screens for the very first time, and it was definitely a product of its time. The show had that retro charm, with simple animation and an iconic theme song that still gets stuck in your head.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can.
It wasn't flashy, but it was groundbreaking, introducing Spider-Man to a whole new generation. Sure, the animation was basic, and you'd see the same shots reused over and over, especially when Spidey was swinging through the city. But even with the budget limitations, the show gave us our first looks at villains like the Green Goblin and Electro. What really stood out, though, the focus was more on Spider-Man as the hero than Peter Parker's life. It was light, action-packed, and didn't dive too deep into the personal side of things, but it worked for what it was. And while it didn't age perfectly, it's hard to deny the influence it had on everything that came after it. Then, in 1981, Spidey switched things up with Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends.
Spider-Man and his amazing friend.
Instead of going solo, he teamed up with Iceman and Firestar. Fun twist, Firestar was even created specifically for the show after they couldn't get the rights to the Human Torch. This wasn't groundbreaking animation, but it brought a fun mix of superhero action and teen drama, with Peter juggling college life and his hero duties. For many fans, it was their first introduction to Spider-Man and Marvel. While it wasn't revolutionary, it was an entertaining watch that brought Spider-Man to a new generation of viewers. And then came the 90s, a golden age for superhero animation. Spider-Man the Animated Series is one of the standout gems. Running for 5 seasons, this show is often seen as the definitive Spider-Man series. It took everything fans loved about the character and amplified it, diving deep into Peter Parker's life, not just as a superhero, but as a college student and struggling freelancer. What made this series truly special was the way it balanced Peter's personal struggles with his superhero life. The show wasn't afraid to explore the emotional weight behind Peter's choices, whether it was dealing with his guilt over Uncle Ben's death or navigating his complex relationships with Mary Jane and Aunt May. The animation was top-notch for its time, and the series introduced some of the most iconic villains from the comics, including Venom, Carnage, and Green Goblin. It even featured epic crossovers with other Marvel heroes, solidifying Spider-Man's place in the larger Marvel universe. This series didn't just deliver non-stop action, it gave Spider-Man real heart. For many fans, Spider-Man the Animated Series was the first time they truly understood Peter's struggles and motivations. The relationship with Mary Jane was another standout, showing how their connection grew over time and adding emotional depth to the story. It's the perfect blend of action, storytelling, and character growth. No wonder it's still a fan favorite today. But in 1999, Spider-Man took a wild turn with Spider-Man Unlimited. Instead of sticking to the familiar streets of New York, Peter was sent to an alternate Earth, Counter-Earth. Here, he faced off against Venom and Carnage in a world ruled by animal-human hybrids. The sleek nanotech suit, designed by Reed Richards, looked cool, but the drastic shift in tone and setting left many fans scratching their heads. It was bold, but did it work? Not for everyone. Spider-Man Unlimited had a bold concept, but let's be real. The shift away from the familiar streets of New York left a lot of fans scratching their heads. The move to a completely new world didn't quite resonate, and after just 1 season, the show was canceled. Still, it deserves credit for its creativity, pushing Spidey's animated world in a direction no one expected, whether fans liked it or not. Fast forward to 2003, and Spider-Man, the new animated series, completely flipped the script. Gone was the lighthearted vibe. This show embraced a darker, more mature tone. With 3D animation and storytelling influenced by Sam Raimi's Spider-Man movies, It focused less on the action and more on Peter Parker's inner turmoil. The series dug deep into his personal life, exploring his emotional journey, his relationships, and the harsh realities of balancing heroism with his everyday struggles. This wasn't your typical Spidey show, and it definitely kept you on the edge of your seat. The series made Peter's relationship with Mary Jane feel more complex, and Harry Osborn's storyline explored the burden of his father's legacy. The show gave us a Spider-Man who wasn't just saving the day, he was battling his inner demons, which added a layer of depth. Despite its fresh approach, Spider-Man, the new animated series, couldn't quite capture the same magic as its predecessors. The animation was ahead of its time, but it only lasted one season, leaving fans divided. It was darker, grittier, and unlike anything before it, but somehow, it missed the mark for a lot of viewers. Still, it carved out a place in Spider-Man's animated history as a bold, if brief, experiment. Then, in 2008, Spectacular Spider-Man swung into the scene, and wow, it quickly became a fan favorite. Many consider it one of the greatest Spider-Man adaptations of all time. This series didn't just scratch the surface. It dug deep into Peter Parker's teenage years, showing him struggle with school, relationships, and his responsibilities as Spider-Man. The animation was sleek, dynamic, and packed with intense action scenes, all while staying true to the heart of the classic comics. If you wanted the perfect blend of heart and action, this was it. What made this series stand out was its ability to focus on Peter's emotional journey. It wasn't just about Spider-Man defeating villains, it was about his growth as a person. The portrayal of his relationships was especially strong. Mary Jane's personality was given more depth, and the connection between Peter and Aunt May was heartfelt, showing their adaptation to life after Uncle Ben's death. The villains were also some of the best seen in any Spider-Man media, from Green Goblin to Sandman and Dr. Octopus. The show captured their complexity and motivations, making them more than just enemies of the week. Just when Spectacular Spider-Man was hitting its stride, it was abruptly canceled after only 2 seasons due to the Disney-Sony deal. Fans were left devastated, craving more of the emotional depth and action-packed moments that made the show so unforgettable. Despite its short run, Spectacular Spider-Man remains a highlight in the web-slinger's animated legacy, with its perfect balance of heart, action, and storytelling. It's a series that still resonates, proving that sometimes less really is more when it comes to crafting a truly memorable Spidey story. Then came Ultimate Spider-Man in 2012, and man, did things take a turn. This series introduced a much lighter, more humorous tone, which, let's be honest, felt like a major departure from the emotional storytelling fans had come to love. With Spidey teaming up with other young heroes like Nova and Iron Fist, the series was packed with action. But something was missing. It struggled to deliver the depth and complexity fans had come to expect from Spider-Man, leaving some wondering if this was truly the Spider-Man they remembered. Peter Parker, once a deeply emotional and complex character, became a quippy teenager whose focus shifted to jokes rather than his struggles with responsibility. The humor often felt forced, and many decisions, like Peter suddenly owning a motorcycle, seemed out of place. Sure, Ultimate Spider-Man had bright animation and some seriously fun action sequences, but let's face it, the emotional depth fans had come to love was just missing. While the show had a few standout moments, like the Spider-Verse arc, it felt like a lost opportunity to deliver a more compelling, richer story. For many, it was a Spider-Man series that never quite hit the mark. Then came Marvel's Spider-Man in 2017, and oh boy, this one really struggled. The animation felt flat, and the storylines? Shallow at best. It seemed like the series was rushed with no real heart or soul behind it. Fans couldn't help but compare it to the legendary Spider-Man shows that came before it. And let's just say, Marvel's Spider-Man didn't quite measure up. The introduction of multiple spider-powered characters, including a strangely renamed Miles Morales as Spidey, diluted Peter Parker's uniqueness. The show leaned heavily on gimmicks and toy sales, lacking meaningful character development or compelling plots. It felt like a soulless cash grab, driven more by corporate mandates than by a genuine love for Spider-Man. Marvel's Spider-Man failed to capture the emotional depth or the thrilling adventures that made earlier animated series so unforgettable. It was like the spark was missing, and fans noticed. Despite the ups and downs, Spider-Man's animated series have left a massive mark on both the fandom and the superhero genre itself. From the groundbreaking 1967 series to the beloved spectacular Spider-Man, each show has added something special to Spidey's legacy, shaping what we know and love about our favorite web-slinger today. While some series stumbled in capturing the essence of Peter Parker, others gave fans iconic moments and deep character development. With new series like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, it's clear that Spider-Man's animated future holds a lot of potential. For many, these shows are more than just cartoons. They are a cornerstone of superhero storytelling. What's your favorite Spider-Man animated series? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more Spider-Man content.